All right, sounds good.
Yeah, okay. I'm so nervous.
Okay. You should probably warn people what we're nervous about.
Hi, everybody. If you're already in here, they're probably like not. I mean, wait, I'm trying to see right now because everything's always delayed.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
annoying.
I have my iPad over here. I'm refreshing to see.
So there's one person in here. One person's better than 0 people.
Yes, exactly. Why can't I see a chat?
Oh my gosh, it's my friend Maya. Hi, Maya. Wait, Maya, did you read Intercepted? Well, if you didn't, I'm still glad you're here. Hi, Nicole. Yeah. Hi.
I can't see the chat.
Oh my god, I love you, Nicole.
All right.
My room's purple on this side and looks orange on that side.
I love it. I'm so jealous. I want the multicolored strings that you have.
They're so nice. I don't even know where they're from. Like, I just steal out the bucket because we have like huge buckets of Halloween decorations, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just take some stuff and. Mm-hmm. We love moral support.
I love that.
Support. Yes, the Halloween vibes. Hold on. There's this cool candle that I have, and when you light it, it turns colors.
Stop! That's awesome.
Yeah, let me see if I can find my light or my matches. Because I normally keep them here because I have India's candles, so that way.
Yeah, so do I. I have one of India's candles right here.
I had 2, but I think one of them I moved for this candle. I found it match. But this I haven't done it since last Halloween, so I don't know.
I don't understand how it changes color.
It's an LED.
Well, but you actually light it?
Yeah, you actually light it. That's and then it's like a heat LED light or something. Not my match not lighting. Why does it keep doing that? Yeah, see? It already lit up.
Oh my gosh.
From the heat. And then it changes color.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, see, now it's going like pinky.
I need that in my life.
I don't know where. Probably Michael's, to be honest. Mm-hmm. That's why I get all my decorations. See, look now.
It's so pretty. I'm such a sucker for that kind of stuff.
I know, me too. It makes me so happy.
So see, even if you and I don't have a ton to talk about for the book, some people didn't read it, so yeah, it's okay.
I know, it is cool. You want one? Okay. So, Bree, you can introduce yourself so people know who you are, because I don't know if everybody here does.
So I am Bree from In 11 Words, and I am not new to Swoon. I have been reading romance ever since I was a teenager, which was a long time ago, because I am 30. Am I 35 right now? I lost track of how old I am, but I'm in my 30s somewhere. But I've been reading romance for a very long time. However, I had not read this book yet, and I ended up reading it in the beginning of the month for this, and I'm excited to talk to you about it and see what you thought about it.
I have all of your links down below for anybody who wants to see them. She has an amazing Etsy shop with her stickers. Wait, I have the stickers actually. I put them somewhere because I use them all the time. I was like, I always have spaces on my water bottle, like little ones, and I'm like, what can I put here? I'm like, what can I put here? But yeah, I have them right here in this little envelope that's so cute. I love them so much. They're literally so cute.
I like that you kept the card.
Yeah, I was like, I need it. Look at these little stickers.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you got the Acrobat ones.
Yes. Oh,
okay. And Hamilton.
Yes, all the Hamilton ones, and then I got these ones too. And I keep thinking, I'm like, where can I fit these?
I know, that's the thing. Like, I always buy stickers or make stickers, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with these.
I'm like, let me just put them everywhere. Like, I have so many stickers on my computer too, and then my whole water bottle has all of these. Oh, it's your first time being here? Well, hi. This is the first time for my book club, but I go live like every week because I have, I don't know, because I feel like with school, I can't make as many videos because I'm busy. So like I can always go live, but I can't make as many videos. Like I try to post once a week now, but it's hard. During the week, it's hard. Literally this past week, I literally kicked my butt. I was like, every night I was staying up until like 10, 11 trying to get my homework done.
Eesh. Are you doing virtual or are you on campus?
Yeah, we're like all doing virtual right now, and there's some people that are doing hybrid, so like 2 weeks online, 1 week in school, but I didn't want to do that because that seems chaotic.
Right.
With my schedule always changing. So the first semester I'm doing all virtual, and possibly second semester, because that doesn't start till January, so I don't know what things are going to look like then.
Right.
So we'll see.
So how is your school doing with it being virtual? Do they have their stuff together? Is it kind of crazy?
Some of them, I mean, one of my teachers is like 73, so she does not have her stuff together at all. But I just don't like her in general, but it's okay.
She's probably stuck in her ways.
Yeah, she teaches my AP literature class, and she's very like, classic literature is the only literature, and I'm like, let's not. Can you stop? Right now we're reading Frankenstein.
Oh, okay.
This is not my book. I have a cute cover, but I'm not trying to mess it up. So this is a cool copy. I literally have a cute cover, but I was like, no, I'm not messing this up for nothing.
That's such a bookish thing to do.
And then we're reading in class a book play called Death of a Salesman, and these kids are reading this out loud, and they're really acting like they're in a real voice acting job. And I'm like the first day, we all turned off our cameras because we knew we were going to start laughing because it was just that funny. And then we all got so distracted, and we're just texting each other about how ridiculous it is. We don't know what's going on. So I have to reread it. Yeah, it's really funny. Okay, so now you hating Death of a Salesman. My sister said she likes it, and I'm like, how? Where?
The only thing I only remember reading, like I'm sure I read more, but the only two I remember is The Great Gatsby, which I actually really liked, and then Beowulf. Those are the only two I remember reading in school.
I read The Great Gatsby. I can't speak today. Not for school, but I think I read it when I was in like, trying to think, probably like 7th or 8th grade. So I feel like I need to reread it because I don't think I comprehended it as much as I would now. I wouldn't be able to hold it together. I swear. No, I was taking videos of this. It's this one guy, and he just really goes off. And he has like this weird kind of accent because his parents are Australian, but he's from here. So like his accent, it doesn't sound like anything I've heard because it's a combination of different.
Both, yeah.
Great Gatsby's good. It's all right.
I loved the movie when I was younger, like the old Robert Redford one.
Movie.
And then the new one I really liked.
Yeah. I think my favorite book that I've read for school, I remember like all of them. Or I have a list anyways, because in AP literature, we read books, and then for our AP exam, we have to just like read, like use whatever literature we want, I think, to answer the questions. So I have a list so I can remember what I've read.
That's smart.
But I know I've read some Shakespeare, like Macbeth and what is the other one? Romeo and Juliet, obviously. But Macbeth, I liked better. Macbeth, I liked better because I don't know, like the main character was so like, let me kill everybody. That's a mood to me. I don't know. But in my other classes, they're like not like that because my teachers were younger, so we read like a graphic novel, Persepolis.
Oh, really?
We read Night, which is a memoir about World War II, and like this guy who was in a concentration camp. We read The Kite Runner, which is really good, actually. But I've also read my least favorite book ever for school. It's called Things Fall Apart. I talk about it all the time. But Things Fall Apart is really, okay, just don't recommend. Just don't read that book, everybody, please. Just spare yourself. We all hated that book. Like, even my teachers at the time, like, because I knew a lot of the English department, and I would talk to them all the time, and they all said that they hated that book.
So why are they assigning it?
It's because I think that one was required, like, by the county for us to read. But a lot of them weren't. Yes. Anyways, so what did you give the book Intercepted? What did you rate?
So I think I was going back and forth with it. I'm probably 3.5, but I think I can't remember what I gave it on Goodreads, either a 3 or 4. So like somewhere, I really, really liked the beginning, and then the end I was not happy with. So I had to go somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. I think originally I rated it like a 4.5, but I think for me now it's a 4. I always change my rating either like I don't know, I always change it after I sit on it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Usually. So I think it's more of a 4 for me because I've realized some of the things that I didn't like about it.
Mm-hmm.
For people who haven't read Intercepted, it's basically about this girl. What's her name? Marley.
Marley.
And
Marley. Yeah.
Marley is dating like a football player on this team. She's been dating him for like 10 years, and she's part of like the what are they called? Like the wives of the football players. Like what is that club called?
So they call them.
The
I
Lady
can't remember.
Mustang. The Lady
Oh
Mustang.
yeah.
And so she's like a part of them, but they're kind of like, well, you're not actually married to him, so we don't like you. Oh, also yes, this book. I really did not like this book. None of us liked it. And so so what am I trying to say? I lost my train of thought.
So she's in the club, or the little club of girlfriends. Well, it's actually mostly wives. She's the only girlfriend, so everyone kind of frowns upon her.
Yeah.
And she's not plus size. She's a size 8, first of all. I'm like, I wish I was a size 8, but everyone's treating her like she's like making comments like she's heavy or something. And I'm like,
For real. And so she finds out that her boyfriend of 10 years was cheating on her. And so she's like, okay, I'm dipping, like, bye. And then a new guy, like, I think he's the quarterback, joins the team. And it was this guy that she had a one night stand with, like, years before when when her and her boyfriend were on a break. She had a one night stand with him. And then now he joins the team, and she's like, oh, well, I'm single, but okay, he's kind of cute still. And the romance is between them two, and her also dealing with like all of the people, like the wives of the Mustangs, because that's the team. Aren't they like in Denver, the Denver Mustangs or something?
I think so. I can't remember. I'm really bad at remembering details like that.
You're related to him?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm sorry. Like, I just didn't like the book. It's not a personal attack. I'm sorry. This live show isn't even about this book. Okay, I don't know. We just all didn't like it. I just didn't like how the main character was. But I understand it was supposed to show like societal pressures, but I think that there was a better way it could have been done. That's it. Anyway, so I really liked the book. I really liked how Marley was. Did we skip you? What do you mean? How did I skip you? I said hi.
We have to specifically say hi to Charles anytime he's on the live.
Hello. Charles is always trying to start arguments. But I really liked Marley as a character. Like, I really think that Alexa Martin was good at making Marley like have a strong voice. Mm-hmm. I feel like, because for me, I feel like when I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, like I really don't like these people, and I think so many negative thoughts. And I feel like Marley, she really had that, and I was like, this is me. Thank you.
Yes, I did. I liked her voice for sure. The only thing I didn't like was the hashtags.
Yes, the hashtags.
I was like, it wasn't adding anything to the story. And I was just like, okay, that's enough. But I thought she was funny and she was relatable.
Yeah.
And what's cool is Alexa Martin is actually married to a football player. I guess he even won the Super Bowl a couple of times. So the whole time I'm like, man, this stuff probably actually happens. And I wonder if it happened to her. Like, I wonder if all the wives and stuff are that mean.
Yeah, I hope not. But at least she did have like one friend on the in the group, so that was good. But I feel like why it did impact her, I think because she was like very strong in her own thoughts. I feel like she was just like whatever for a lot of the time, which I think is good. Like, it's good to show somebody who's not brought down as much because of them. And I mean, obviously it did annoy her eventually, but I don't think that she was like,
it never broke her. Like,
yeah, it never broke.
Yeah. It was just more annoying than anything to her, I think. And I like how she would make fun of them, but like they wouldn't really realize it.
They were like, it was so funny. I think she was just too clever for them. Yeah, I think.
So have you read many sports romances before, or is this one of the first ones that you've read?
I think This is one of the first ones that I've read. I may have read another one, but I think the only one that comes to mind is Him by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. I read that one earlier this year, but I think this is, I'm trying to think. I feel like I probably have, because, like, I'm not, like, we named it New to Swoon, but, like, I've definitely read romance before, just not a lot, and I feel like it was, like, years ago, so I don't really remember it, and I want to read, like, some of the ones that I haven't read that I feel like are popular, because I feel like I would just be like, oh, this looks interesting, let me just click it, never heard of this before in my life. The drama. For real. I hope that's not how it is, but I get a feeling. I feel like some of them probably are, but not all of them.
And I'm sure it's a little cliquey. Like you can't really help, but that's going to happen when because that's a lot of people. Like there's a lot of people on a football team. So think about all the wives and girlfriends and stuff. So it's going to be personality clashing and things like that.
I really liked her relationship with like the other team members though. Like not even necessarily their wives, but just them. It was so cute. Bree's gonna say,
yeah. You want some sports romance?
I know. Charles is calling you the queen of romance. This is why I watch Bree's channel. Plus, her videos just make me. I comment this all the time, but I'm like, your voice is just so soothing to me. Like, oh, I feel so like happy.
I'd never heard that before until I started making videos.
Yeah, I know Bree gets through most of her books that way through audiobook.
I actually listened to this on audio.
I did too. But yeah, I think the audiobook was really good.
It was. I forget the name of the narrator, but you did a really good job.
Thank you. I feel like sometimes I don't know if people are going to find it weird, but I'm like, it just makes me feel calm.
I like Nicole's voice. I've told Nicole before. I love her voice too.
Oh yeah, Nicole's voice is definitely, it's soothing until she boxers you and she's like yelling and then you're like, oh. But in her videos it's soothing, but then on boxers she's so aggressive sometimes.
Does she yell at you frequently?
No, she doesn't yell at me. She just yells out of either excitement or annoyance at somebody else. Yeah. Apparently, Charles and Nicole have beef. Okay, Charles, when do you not have beef with somebody?
Charles has beef with everybody.
He really does. Yeah. I think I've read most of my books because this is my first full month back at school, and most of the books that I've read this month are audiobooks, I'm pretty sure.
That's like me all the time.
Even though during the week, especially these past 2 weeks, I have not read during the week like at all. Like it's
even audiobooks?
Yeah, because like most of the stuff that I have to do, it's like watching a video, then doing this or reading this, and I can't like focus like that. It's not like mindless enough for me to be able to do it all the time. But I've been reading it probably at least like one book, but I've actually read a lot this month, surprisingly, because normally like for example, in February and March, I didn't read a single book because of school. And in January, I only read 3 books, and one of them was for like what I actually wanted but then 2 of them were for school. So like that was when I was full-time in school. I could not read. And then it started picking up in April because that was like Corona. And then starting in June, I've been reading at least like 14 books a month. And I've still kept that up this month. Like I've already read 16 books. And I was like, wow, Deja. I really thought I was going to be out here reading 6. But it's because like yesterday I read like 2 books, like 900 pages. And I was like I'm fine. Like I wasn't even burnt out. Because during the week, I just don't read a lot. So, like, I feel like on the weekends, I just go ham, and I love it.
Yeah, it's your time to relax.
Thanks. I love our backdrops, too. I like it when it looks really orangey here, and it mixes. Yeah, Bree's background's always so nice with the little fairy lights and Is that like a curtain?
Yes, it's a curtain. It's like little... stringy things.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's super fun. I had to figure out a way to make this not look so boring when I filmed my office.
No. I did not spill the tea. I don't know if I should on here or if I should just tweet off from the New to Swoon Twitter account. How do we have beef, Charles? I don't know. Since we both listen to audiobooks, what speed do you listen to the audiobooks in?
I always listen at 2.5 usually. Sometimes it depends. Like if the narrator has an accent, I'll slow it down a little bit.
Yeah,
but usually 2.5.
Okay, it kind of depends because my favorite way to read is to listen to audiobooks and read along because I feel like I comprehend it a lot better that way. Because if I'm just reading, I'm like, ooh, look at my phone. Look at this TikTok app. Let me just go right there real quick. And then if I'm listening to audiobooks, my ADHD is like, oh my gosh, look at this shiny object. So that way it keeps me focused more. And if I'm reading along with it, I can normally do 3 times speed, sometimes 3.5 if it's really like I have to start at 3, but I can normally work my way up to 3.5 once I get towards like the middle of the book. But if I'm just listening, I normally do 2.5 as well.
Charles reads at like 10 times speed.
For real. And also I get annoyed at Scribd because on iPhones you can only go to 2 times speed.
Mm-hmm.
So annoying.
Yeah.
But then if you open it in Safari instead, it'll let you do to 3 times speed.
Really? I didn't know that trick. I'm gonna have to do that.
But then sometimes if you like leave the Safari and come back, it'll open it up immediately in the app. But then I just go back and I just reopen the tab and it's fine.
I'll have to try that. Yeah, because it is slow. Like 2 seems really slow.
It really is. I'm like, I can't do this 2 thing. 3.5 or nothing. Yeah, 3.5 sometimes you got to do it. I agree with that. 3.5 for Intercepted wasn't that bad. Even though I wasn't reading it along with it, I was honestly just laying in bed, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it's a very easy read. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's a good sports romance.
It's really quick. And I think because I feel like I would like sports romances, but you know how Marley's in this book where she's like, I don't know anything about football, but like when I'm there, I'm there. Like I'm there to fight. Okay. Me, I don't go to football games like that, but when I'm there, I'm like, I will literally like cut you if you come from my team. I don't even have teams, but I'm like, okay, like my friend is on like my school team or something like that. I'm like, I will literally be so loud when I don't know what's going on. I just start cheering when everybody else cheers.
I loved that she would get all blinged out. Like she had all it's true. At least 3.5. I feel like some people could go faster if they wanted to.
Charles.
Yep.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it. You complained to them and they added 3.5? Wow, Charles, you can move.
Single-handedly.
Love that. Exactly. I'm like, what is this?
Or like you start a new book or something and it's on 1 time speed and it seems like they're talking backwards. It's so slow.
Yes. And then I was like, today I was trying to listen to it on my Alexa and it only goes up to like what, 1.5? And I was like, what is this? I was like, the audacity. Come on. Like, I understand it's like not directly in my ears, but I can at least do 2 times speed. Alexa, put the audiobook on 200 speed. Or like, it goes like, because she does like 150 times speed instead of like 1.5. And so I was like, do it on 200 speed. And she was like, the fastest I go up to is 150 times speed. Here you go. And I was like, what do you mean?
Tell Charles to complain and maybe they'll change it.
I know, it's so slow.
What color uniform?
I'd be like, wait, which team is which? I can't tell sometimes, but yeah, I don't know anything about sports, but I like them, and I think that's why. Like, obviously, I feel like everybody likes like people who are in sports. We're all like, ooh, they play a sport, okay. So I think that's why sports romances would be cool.
And that's like, for some reason, I don't mind like athletes, but other types of famous people I don't usually love in romance novels.
Oh yeah,
but athletes I really like, and I can't really. I think maybe because they're famous, but it's a different kind of famous, I guess.
Not talking back. That's literally me. For real. I'm like, how dare you just like not go faster? Like, how is that not like, what does it cost them to just put that in there?
Right.
It doesn't do anything. Like, that's what I'm saying. Nicole can be she's so nice, But then she says stuff like this, and you're like, but then also me, like, it really freaks me out. It doesn't freak me out. It just weirds me out when people are like, oh my gosh, Deja, you're so nice and sweet. And I'm like,
it's situational.
are you sure?
Have you met me?
Yeah, exactly. I think I can be a kind person. Like, I like to give my friends gifts and I like to care for them. But like, also I will get into arguments with them. Like once my friend and I, we got into a 2-week argument over if you can taste water, like if water has a taste. And I literally came to school and I made a whole PowerPoint and I went through this PowerPoint and I said, water does not have a taste. The things in water can make it have a taste, but water, whoa, no taste. And I swear we were in an argument for 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
That's quite an argument. Yes, I'd like to see that slideshow at some point.
I'll see if I still have it, to be honest. I probably do. Because I made on Google Slides. Trusty Google Slides. But I mean, this is what I do. I get into weird arguments. And also, like, people that I don't know, like, I'll be so passive-aggressive if they annoy me. It's not even funny. Yeah, like this one girl messaged me, and because there's this kid in my class, the one with the 73-year-old woman, and he's so annoying. Like, he interrupts the class and says the most annoying stuff all the time, and I'm like, and then he'll leave his mic on accidentally for like 2 minutes, and we hear all his background noise, and I'll be like, turn your mic off, it's annoying, like in the comments. And this girl messaged me and she was like, do you not like him? Because I feel like you treat him different and like I don't want there to be any tension. And I'm like, why are you in my business, ma'am?
Like, what do you have to do with it? Exactly.
Siri reads faster than Alexa, just saying. That's because Siri's definitely more iconic than Alexa.
What do you mean?
It really is savage. Hi, puppy. Oh. Thank you, Charles.
Correct.
Agree. Thank you. The person who was on the other side of the argument was just incorrect. Exactly. But then it's very easy to give me a reason not to be. Oh my gosh, thank you for this argument happened like 2 or 3 years ago and I still think about it. So, I don't know what that says about me. This kid is gonna have a whole chapter in your memoir. Oh, she knows. Nicole knows the whole. We were talking about this for a solid hour the other day. Together, or this like a collective memoir, or like separately?
Is that a thing?
I don't know. We can like write our 2 separate things until our paths met. Our 2 separate stories until our paths met. Yeah. Like he really is gonna have a whole chapter. Him, Dashell, and Alexandria. And I'm on newspaper. I'm the co-editor in chief, and and she's on the newspaper. And I'm like, ma'am, I could ruin your whole life. Like, don't even try me. The only reason you're on this newspaper is because I said that you're a good writer. None of us wanted you. I'm just saying. Even the teacher, she was like, no, she's really annoying, and I was like, I know. So Alexandra, don't even try me.
I was on the newspaper too.
I love it. It's so fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like to write really controversial things, so that's my thing. You haven't even started writing articles yet this year, but my first one's gonna be about equity versus equality. And
oh, nice.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm basically gonna be like, all the rich people, come on, you don't need you. Come on, let's put more resources over here, please. Thanks. Mm-hmm. Thanks. Me too. It's gonna be like, so for 6 months in 2020, I laid in my bed. And I watched some TikToks, and that's about it.
In your whole life.
Okay, Charles, I know when you first called me messy, I was like, no, I'm not. But over these past couple weeks, I've come to the realization that you are correct.
Charles is right. What did you love about Intercepted? Let me just tell you, I have moments that I was just in awe. Like, what was the hero thing? Gavin?
Yeah, Gavin.
So the whole, I guess when they had their little one-night stand, she had left her necklace
at
his house. And she like thought I think she didn't realize that she left it there, right? I can't remember, but
No,
I know
knew,
that
she knew that she lost it, but I don't know if she knew she left it there.
Right. But so he goes to her and her boyfriend's house, and she thinks that he doesn't remember her, which I loved that. But then like toward the end of the night, like I think as he's about to leave, he like pulls it out of his pocket. And he's like, "Here you go. You forgot this." And I was like, "Oh."
I was like,
I love that so much. That was one of my favorite parts. And then when she finds out that her boyfriend's cheating on her and she's like about to leave and her boyfriend like won't let her leave, and then Gavin's like, "Let me take you," like her boyfriend's like, "Oh, you can't take the car, I gave that car to you." And so and then Gavin's just like, "I'll take you." And he was like there to hang out with her boyfriend. So I was like, "Ooh, that was a bold move."
I really like when books have like this dynamic of like a guy that's like, "Yes, I want to protect you," and she's like, "No, like, come on, I'm okay." And this kind of had that to me, at least not necessarily like in the beginning, but towards like especially like the middle to the end. I feel like she was like, "No, like I'm okay," and he's like, "No, me must protect." And I was like, I love this.
But I think I agreed with her that he went a little too far. Like when he was talking to her boss and stuff. But I'm also like, what boss would listen to a boyfriend? I'm pretty sure the boss
exactly.
You know, that's the part that I didn't love about the ending. I feel like she way overreacted. Even though I agreed with her, I think she overreacted. I'm like, why just go to New York with him? Why is it a big deal?
Exactly. I was like, girl, come on. Like,
exactly.
Change the pace, ma'am. Just leave. But I like the epilogue. I think the epilogue was cute. The epilogue
was very cute. And I definitely want to read on it in the series. I've heard good things about the rest of the series too.
I know India really likes the second book, Fumbled. Or she likes Fumbled. I think it's the second book. But I know she really likes that one.
I think Steph likes them too, right?
Yeah. Steph likes a lot of things. I don't know how I'm supposed to keep track. But I think so. I'm like, okay. Steph reads a lot. And so does Charles. Oh, also, Charles, I read A Promise of Fire, just so you know, and I gave it 5 stars, but I still like Crescent City better, so...
Oh, no. Here we go, talking about Sarah J. Maas again. Charles is going to go crazy.
He was like, Sarah J. Maas, who, like, Amanda Boucher, she is that girl. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it was good, but, like, Sarah is she's still that queen for me. I like the concept of this one, but gave it 3.5 because the ending, too. Yeah. You love the second book? Well, I really want to read the second book and the third book. Hold up. I'm just saying, because I just finished A Promise of Fire yesterday. I read it all in one day. So I was just letting you know, since you love Amanda Boucher, apparently, and you're the one that sent me the book. I was just letting you know.
Let's talk about Sarah J. Maas for a little bit, just for Charles.
I love Sarah.
So do I.
I love her. She's that girl for me. I haven't read all of her books. I've read the first 3 in Throne of Glass, Crescent City, and then the first 2 in ACOTAR.
Are you going to finish Throne of Glass, do you think?
Yeah. It's just because I read the first 3 books, like, years ago.
I'm trying to, like, I read them. I binged that series, like, back to back to back. So I don't even remember what happens in each book. And there are some big things that happen, and I can't remember which book they happen in.
Yeah. I read the first book when I was in 6th grade. And now I'm in 12th grade. So, and I did a book report on it. I was like, with my presentation, I was like, here's the book. Okay. I'm not even going to say, like, I don't, Throne of Glass is okay. Like, I really like the second and the third book, but I feel like it gets better. And then, obviously, everybody loves ACOTAR, but only for the second book. The second book and Crescent City is everything to me. That's why I love it. Crescent City is my everything. Don't even try. Because she's that girl. What do you expect?
If you're going to be on a live show in the chat, Charles, someone's going to talk about Sarah J. Maas.
Like, literally, Sarah J. Maas, everybody's read her, so everybody has a commonality. And she's very polarizing. The cover of Silver Flames, though. I don't remember what it looks like.
Is that her new book?
Yeah, it's the next in like the ACOTAR series, but like if I
Oh
was like,
yeah, everyone hated it, but like I didn't. Like I'm okay with the new covers.
wait, let me
I vote Charles that you do read the books and make a video.
No, I kind of agree. I really
I
want
support that.
to see him do it, but
He's funny when he gets spicy on his videos.
yeah. Oh yeah, the new covers because it matches the new covers for Throne of Glass.
Mm-hmm.
And Charles, you just know if I see you in a live stream.
Yes.
Every time we see you in a live stream now, we're all gonna bring up Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah, even if it's not our live show, we will put it on the book report.
Wait, where's the ban option again? Because I know you can like make it so people can't talk for like 5. Oh, put a user in timeout. And remember, I have that button, Charles. Just keep that in your mind, okay? I'll have the put user in timeout button, so don't cry, because I will put you in timeout.
What should we get him to read? What haven't you read yet?
Because I know you read Crescent City, but I don't. Have you read all of ACOTAR, and have you read Throne of Glass? I don't think he's read Throne of Glass.
Maybe he should read that one.
Maybe. I think the first book, the second book, I don't know why, because I only read the first 3, but the second book in my mind just really popped off for me. I don't know why. But
I feel like my favorite book was like the 3rd or 4th book in that series. I can't remember.
I think everybody loves the 4th book, but the second book really popped off because that's like when she's still in the castle, but then she finds out all the stuff about the castle.
Oh, right.
I was like, it was like after the competition, but she was still there, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're kind of ugly. I read all of ACOTAR and the prequel of Throne of Glass. I really like the prequel to Throne of Glass. You should read the rest of it.
Yep.
That's
what you need to vlog. Vlog Throne of Glass.
Yep. You have to read at least, if you're going to do it though, you have to read at least the first 3 books.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how many I read. But you have to read at least 3 or 4 because I feel like it changes. The storyline changes. Okay. So
like completely.
You can't just read the first 2 books because that's not sufficient enough. Because it's a series. It's a series.
Mm-hmm.
The new cover of A Court of Silver Flames is kind of ugly, won't lie.
I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me.
No, but I don't think the general covers are ugly, but like who decided putting orange on this was a good idea?
With gray?
Yeah, I want to know who decided that was cute because
I just don't think it matches the story at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my big problem. I don't mind the design, but if it was for something else.
I don't know what is your issue. My son, though, he's never read romance or fantasy. He only reads thrillers and horror. And he started reading Throne of Glass, and he loves the series so much.
Really?
He loves it. Mm-hmm.
I can see, like, in Throne of Glass, she's a little immature. Like, the main character is a little immature, but her character growth throughout that series is amazing.
And in the first book, that was written when Sarah was, like, 17 or 18, something like that. So she was young. You can't expect it to be perfect.
Right. Well, it's YA, so
kinda.
I mean, in the way that Sarah J. Maas was.
YA. The first book's YA. Okay.
Even that one, we're bordering on new adult.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Why did I read that when I was? Wait, let me math real quick.
Yeah, you said 6th grade.
12. Because I remember it being the spring of 6th grade, and my birthday's in November, so I had to have been 12. Okay, but that's an anomaly. That is not the rule. That is just the exception.
That's crazy to me, though.
I know. Couldn't be me. I literally can write like 2 words and I'm done. Even though Nicole's about to be like, no, your writing is so good. She always says that because she always edits my school stuff for me.
Aww.
Oh, because I'm not good with commas. And I did write a creative story where it was complicated. It was like we had to like do things in a certain order. So like you had to be inside somewhere, then walk outside. Then you had to like find a cup, find a key, find a man-made structure, find a body of water, then go across the water. So in that way we could make it whatever we wanted, whatever genre. And I made mine a thriller, obviously, because I want to make it scary.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and wait, what was it? I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, so she was babysitting and she went like out to a party, and she just left the kid at home while he was sleeping, and then she came back and he was gone. And then at the end, basically he was stolen for a sacrificial ritual.
That's
And
intense.
it ends by a bag being put over her head.
What's your teacher say about it? What'd they say?
She really, really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
My college essay, because a lot of people have been reading my college essay too, because I'm doing that thing where I have to apply to them. So like that's kind of scary. There's gonna be a TV show.
What? What? Hold on.
Honestly, Charles being here is iconic because he's asking questions.
I know. He's trying to keep us on track, however. Intercepted.
Yeah, the Interception. It's gonna be called the Interception.
That's what it's called?
No, Intercepted. No, that's a different show. It's called Intercepted, and it's based off the novel, and it will have the first 3 books.
Described as funny, fresh, contemporary.
When is this gonna come out?
I know.
Oh, but it's from last year in November, so
yeah.
50 Cent. What does that have to do with anything?
I know. I was wondering that too.
Producer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What? That's so random.
Who's Lala Anthony? Is she going to be in it?
A co-star. It says duo of executive producer 50 Cent and co-star Lala Anthony.
It's going to be on Stars. That's so cool. I hope it actually happens because I remember years ago, Throne of Glass was supposed to be made into a TV show. Like I remember seeing a picture of the script and then nothing happened. And that was like years and years ago.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be kind of cool because I don't know any like TV shows like that are like fictional. I feel like there's obviously like reality TV shows that are like too much, that are like these housewives of these sport or like athletes, you know?
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it's going to be super rom-com-y like the book is, or if it's going to be.
I hope so.
Oh, currently reading.
I'm not reading anything.
I just finished something today. Yeah. Why aren't you reading anything?
Yesterday I did a 24-hour readathon, and so I started and finished A Promise of Fire, and I read Into the Drowning Deep by Myra Grant, which was like 900 pages in one day.
Jeez.
So that's fine, but like I just haven't started anything yet because I was editing a video. The next thing I'm probably going to read is for the Kindle Clear Out, so I'm excited. I'm reading Here to Stay, which is an arc that I have. So I have to read it for NetGalley. It's this book.
Oh, I like that cover. It's cute.
I know. Bree.
What is that? What?
The other Bree read it. Bree Hill. And I don't know if she liked it, but I know she read it because in like one live she said she had an arc of it or something. So
why does that author sound familiar? Adriana Herrera? What else has she written?
I can look it up.
I'm probably going to start Well Met. That's probably going to be the first book that I read for the Kindle Clear Out. But I finished The Pact by Karina Halley today. Mm-hmm. That was really good.
She wrote something called American Dreamer.
That sounds familiar too, but I don't know why.
And there's 4 books in that series. She wrote a book called Mangoes and Mistletoe. That's such a weird title.
Yeah.
She also wrote this book called Finding Joy, but I don't know if it's out yet because it said it came out this year. Oh yeah, it came out.
I see the cover of American Dreamer. I recognize it. That's the book that I recognize.
Okay, and then he said any recent faves. Well, A Promise of Fire, I gave 5 stars, and Into the Drowning Deep is so good. That book. I mean, it's horror, so but like,
what's it about?
Basically, it's so like years before this. Crew went down or like went to the Mariana Trench to try and find like mermaids or sirens or whatever, and then they never came back. And then there's like footage that they recovered from like the ship because it was just found floating, like the ship with nobody on it. So they recovered footage with like mermaids or something like on the ship, and everybody was like, no, this is fake. So they sent out another ship, and there's like people, like we followed different people, and most of them had like some sort of like stakes in like what happened before. So like one of them, their sister was on the ship, and it was actually supposed to be like a reality TV show documentary, and so everything's being put on by a like entertainment company.
Mm-hmm.
And so we follow the second ship who goes out, and like a lot of people on it, and it's science-y, which I liked, but it's not like I don't understand what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. But it was like, it made everything sound science-y, and I was like, this is amazing. And there's murderous mermaids, and like, who doesn't want that?
That's awesome.
It was so good.
What do the murderous mermaids look like?
They had like, what is it? You know how like the anglerfish, they have like the little glow
Oh, yeah, the
things?
little
Their
light
hair
thing.
glows. Their hair glows, and they're like are really ugly, and they have tails, and they secrete mucus.
Mm.
And they don't have like a chest, like they have like a bump out kind of, but like
Mhm.
there's nothing there, and they're really ugly, and they're like gray.
That's so cool.
Oh, and there's sign language representation in the book, because there's twins that speak sign language, and their sister who's their interpreter. And then
Mhm.
also it was seen in like video clips that the sirens or mermaids, they will use like a signed language under the water.
And it can, so there are they like sirens where they can lure people in? Or is
Kind
it
of like, so what they basically did was they would mimic sounds. So like even like, so like they would mimic sounds of other like whales or like things like that to try and like make it so people would think that they're safe for the whales and then like catch them, but they don't actually like lure people in. They just like mimic sounds. And um so instead of like communicating through sound to each other, they will use signs, and then they'll use the noise to try and like make themselves seem unseen. So like they didn't even know that they were there because they were like replicating the sound of the engines of the ship.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like looking it up right now. That's perfect for Halloween.
Yes, it's so good. Okay, do you think the alpha male archetype is played out? Would you want more alpha female books? I want it for other people, but I know like the alpha male archetype is like my favorite. So, but I want the representation of alpha male or alpha female books for other people to read. But I just don't think they'd be my favorite.
I think because the alpha male thing seemed a little played out to me just because I remember when they were really, really popular for a while there, especially when 50 Shades of Grey was really popular. So I got burnt out on them. And I always tend to I lean more towards cinnamon roll heroes anyway.
Yeah.
I do like, I guess they're not necessarily alpha heroes, but like kind of heroes that seem really mean or gruff on the outside, but are actually very sweet on the inside. So those are my favorites.
I think it's because I really like, I think my favorite romances are like paranormal romances and fantasy romance. So I feel like in that, it not that it has to be that way, but usually it makes more sense for the plot line for there to be an alpha male. And so yeah, Charles is
And
like,
I think though in fantasy you can have alpha females and alpha
yes,
males
yes, I
together.
really
You
like
can both
that
be
when they
badass.
like kind of like argue. That's how Promise of Fire was. But she did get kidnapped, and I was like, yes, we love a good kidnapping.
We need Charles to moderate.
For real. Do you think that romance is inclusive for male readers? Like,
Not as much. I don't think so because I think the typical target audience is female, but I would love to see more male authors like TJ
yeah,
Clinton and things like that. Especially for male romances, I would love to see more male authors.
yeah, and I
I
think
don't know. I feel like Charles would be able to answer that question
better than us. But then also, I feel like a lot of like straight men don't read romance like that, and I want that to change. It makes me sad because like, I don't know, I feel like it's probably like the societal pressure, like they must be manly, and I'm like,
Yeah, the
but
stigma.
it's so nice.
I mean, females get crap for reading romance. I can't imagine
Yeah,
guys getting.
definitely. Nice. Well, I feel like you give so many 5 stars. Nicole, when we both read, what was it? The Princess Trap? And you gave, when I told you I was going to give it a 2.5, you were like,
I gave a lot of things 5 stars too, though.
I did too. I feel like, but this year I think I've been more selective because I have read so many more books. I've read 76 books this year, which has never happened before. So I'm
Good
proud
job.
of myself.
What's your
Normally
reading
my
goal?
goal is like 50, and I barely meet it. I'm like literally up in the end trying to read all these graphic novels, trying to fit in. And I'm like, wow, maybe I might hit 100. I told Alex that a while ago because I hit 50 in the beginning of August. So I read 25 books in a month and a half.
That's
And
awesome.
I told him, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm probably just going to aim for 75 because I don't think I'll be able to hit 100. And he was like, do 100. And I was like, no. Well, now I can actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to read Well Met too. I own it.
That's good.
Also, back to the killer mermaids, apparently. They look scary. They are. The mucus is not poisonous. It's because, okay, so like they can climb, and so they would climb onto the ship, and they would use their mucus to like be able to like slide across.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That is having a 99%.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Let me just get
Buy them. Worth every penny. That's like 8,000 pages for very, very cheap.
I feel like I think it can be harmful when it's done incorrectly. But I feel like that could be said for everything because.
Right. But I also think like going into, I think it depends on who's reading it. I think it can be harmful to someone who thinks that's okay and thinks that's how relationships should be. But if you're like someone like us who have read romance novels before, it's hard to, I mean, I would never be like, well, this is okay in real life. Like there's a lot of things I would read in a book and it'd be okay. But if it happened in real life, I'd be like,
no. Like literally like this man kidnapped this girl.
Right.
Like I would never be like, yes, go kidnap this person because you think they'll be useful for you. No. But I was like, in the book, I was like, yes, kidnap her.
Exactly.
There are no guilty pleasure tropes.
No
Charles,
guilty
none. None. I have to think.
Virgin Hero.
Oh, that's because you're so cinnamon roll. I'm trying to think.
I have a video coming out tomorrow, and it's wild heroes in romance novels. So, like animalistic, caveman-esque kind of heroes. And I realized recently that that is a trope that I like. I don't know if it is a trope, but it's a thing that I like because I had 10 books on that list.
I've never read a book like that. So
I just read Transcendence, and it's a literal caveman romance.
I know. Is that the book where they can't communicate?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It's very, very unique.
Okay, I'm trying to think.
What do I love? I have a whole video of all the different things I love in romance novels, and then when someone asks me this question, I can never remember.
It's like no thoughts, head empty. Nicole knows that I like age gap romances, which I feel like it's weird for. I'm like, oh, I'm 17 years old. Don't judge me. As I said, I wouldn't agree with this in real life.
Like to read it, don't want it in real life.
I mean, it depends on the age gap in real life. Like, I feel like it could work sometimes, and it depends on like the age. Like, my parents are like 5 years apart, I think. But like, if I was like, yes, I'm 17, let me date a 22-year-old, I'd be like,
or like 15 and 20, like that's.
Oh, like let's not do that. Let's not do that.
25 is like a little different.
But I feel like I have a lot more, but I just no thoughts, head empty. Oh, as I said, I like it when like it's not like not necessarily alpha male and alpha female, but like an alpha male and then like the girl is like, no, like I'm fine, like I don't need you to take care of me, like I don't need you, and he's like, but you do, and she's like, but I don't. And I like, because I also realized that I kind of like toxic relationships in books. My friend made me realize this because I don't know if you read what is it called, From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout, and she did not like that book because she thought the main male character was toxic and manipulative. And I was like, but I in my video coming out tomorrow that I have, I was like, okay, but he's toxic and manipulative, but I want him to be toxic and manipulative to me. Like, it's okay. Like, for me, like, it's fine. Like, it's okay. Manipulate me. Like, I don't care. Like, it's okay.
I think some books pull it off. I like Beach Read. Beach Read, I feel like, is a good merge between the two. I'm not a big women's fiction fan, but I like the ones that have a little more romance. Like Catherine Center books tend to have a little more romance than regular women's fiction.
Yeah, I don't think I've read that many. My only, like, just like one thing that I don't like about like even people in the book community who don't read romance, like they always think of romance as like just contemporary, and I feel like that also kind of relates to a lot like women's fiction being clumped in a lot. And I'm like, but there's so many other ones. Like, even though I don't read romance like that still, like I'm trying to get more into it. I'm like, come on. One of my friends was like, I don't like romance. And I was like, literally, girl, there's mafia romances. And she's like, yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a romance if it didn't have an HEA, Charles.
But that's why I like series, because I feel like each book at the end it could tear out my heart, and then at the very last book it'll be like nice. But like each separate book, it's like ending on a cliffhanger where they're not together and one of them is like about to be murdered or something. Ask Bree, don't ask me. Or if Nicole's still in here, I feel like Nicole has good recommendations.
Yeah, definitely check out my video tomorrow because I think you will like some of the recommendations I have in that. Archer's Voice is probably a good one.
Oh yeah, you talk about that book.
That's one of my favorites. I love Bittersweet. I love that series, the True North series.
Wait.
So good.
I feel like, what's the name of that author Nicole likes? This author that she loves is banned off of Amazon.
Banned?
Yes.
That Nicole likes?
Yes. Madison Faye. That's it. And I feel like she has a book series that is like actually like called like Mountain Men or something.
Oh, really?
Let me see. But the reason that they're banned off Amazon is because they're very, very smutty. So if that's not your thing, then let me see. Maybe not. Oh yeah, Blackthorn Mountain Men series by Madison Faye.
Oh, I feel like I've heard of that series. I think it's on my wish list, like my TBR.
Yeah. Literally, look at Nicole sending me 2 of Madison Faye's books, so I have them. I'm scared. I'm a child.
I know, Nicole, you're sending a child these books that are banned
like,
from Amazon.
Literally, like, India and Stephanie are like, no, Deja, like, you can't read anything. Like, you can't read, your dad will do. You have to wait until your 18th birthday. And then Nicole's like, Deja, here you go.
What's 1 year?
I'm like, literally, I turned 18 in less than 2 months.
So I had a book blog first, and it was all romance always. And I had it for a few years before I started a booktube channel. So I never really, like, when I started my booktube channel, I didn't think anyone was going to watch it because I didn't read any of those books, and I was okay with it. I just like talking to myself, I guess. But I don't know. And then when I found, like, especially Bree Hill, she kind of welcomed me in with open arms, as she does with most romance booktubers. But when I found that there was this whole community of romance booktubers, it like changed the game for me. It was awesome. So I never felt pressure because I've always been a romance blogger and then booktuber.
Yeah, I think that's definitely for you, Brie, because as I said, new to Swoon, kinda. I mean, because I read a lot of things, but me and fantasy right now, we're not vibing. Okay, me and or romance fantasy are vibing, but just normal fantasy, like this whole side of my room, we're on a little hiatus. Okay, it's like me, the romance, and the thrillers. That's where I am right now.
Have you done a video of your favorite fantasy romances?
No, because I haven't read that many. Not yet.
But just your favorite one, even if there's like 3, I want to know what your favorites are. Because I love, like, I need a good fantasy romance, and it's hard for me to find.
From Blood and Ash.
I know, that's on my list because that's one of the ones I feel like I've heard a couple of people talk about who love romance. And
It's so good. And then my friends, the second book, Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, just came out at the beginning of this month, and they both loved it. They said it's way better than the second book or the first book, and they both gave the first book 5 stars.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And they're like the plot thickens, all this stuff. Yeah, that. And then obviously Crescent City has my heart. Even though people are like, this book, it's so steamy. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Wait, Crescent City steamy?
Yes, that's what people are saying who just read fantasy and don't read that much romance. And they're like, yeah, Sarah J. Maas is so steamy.
I felt like it was so tame.
No, literally Crescent City. I was like, where is it? Where?
Exactly. We're all waiting for like the epic, like 3-chapter long.
Yeah, it wasn't. No, it was like literally like one scene on a couch.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
I barely remember it. The romance was very low key, in my opinion, in that book, but everything else was really good in it. So it made up for it.
But I think in the second book, they're going to pop off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And band even better. No, I just know that they're okay. So I went into Bait, which is a age gap student teacher romance that Nicole sent to me by Madison Faye, and I just like was trying to see. I don't know what I was trying to do, but I accidentally just scrolled through it, and I saw like I stopped on a random page, and I was literally in the middle of a smut scene, and I was like, Nicole, what are you sending me? What is this?
You should read. Have you read anything by Brittany C. Cherry?
No, not yet. I was gonna read one for the summer. What was it? Summer Fling. Mm-hmm. But I never got a chance.
You should read Loving Mr. Daniels. It's a student teacher romance.
Okay.
So good. Steph.
Hi, Steph. It's okay.
We're talking so much about the book right now.
I know, Nicole. Literally, I scrolled like 10% in. And I was like, oh, okay, we're on a desk. We're on a desk.
We're here.
In the room. Oh, I was like, oh. And I know like a lot of people are like, oh, okay. I don't understand. Not that I don't understand, but I know like this has been talked about from romance booktubers before, like, really like not necessarily like reading like smutty things or dark things like before you're 18. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm just here doing my thing.
What, not being okay with?
Yeah, not necessarily like because they are like not romance in general, because a lot of them said their own like parents got them introduced to it, but like reading like really dark or smutty things before you're 18. And I'm like, I don't know.
I think it depends on your maturity, because I think if you're super impressionable and naive, and absolutely not. Like, I'm thinking of my niece who is very kind of naive to that type of thing, and I would not want her reading dark romance, but you're very mature for your age. I think when you read it, you're not going to be scandalized.
No, I'm just saying that I was scandalized because I'm on this. In actuality, I was like, oh, wait a second.
Look, I think it's a maturity thing. I think
everybody always thinks I'm older than I am anyways. Like on BookTube, they find out I'm like 17, and I was like, and they're like, what? Like, I thought you were like 22, and I was like, how?
Thanks, Charles, for Charles conversation.
Oh, thanks.
Are you humble?
Yeah, I know you were, Nicole. Good night.
Good night.
What's
funny is I didn't read my first like steamy romance novel until I was 22.
The first one that I read, I think I was 16. I don't know, because Chandler Ansley, I loved her when I was younger. Or not, I still like her channel, but like a couple years ago, I was like watching all of her videos religiously, and she did like this one book club book, like where she was gonna have a live show for A Lesson in Thorns by Sierra Simone, and I read that when I was 16. And I was like, what did I just do to myself? I did not even do it on purpose. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, ooh, like a little like romance between people, and they get like this house, and they're like childhood friends, all of them. I did not know what I was getting myself into.
Like, was it overwhelming for you?
No, it wasn't overwhelming. I was just surprised. I can't say. But that's because
because that's intense. There are things in that book that are like not even for people who are not.
I just remember the altar, bro. That altar really got me. I was like, what is this? What is happening? And then she was like, oop, I literally passed out. But you know what? We're in the shower. Might as well. And I was like, okay, sis.
Like, I'm thinking of me at 17. I was so naive and so immature. There's no way I would have been able to handle some of these books.
It's because of this.
That's
I've had
true.
one of these since I was in 4th grade.
That'll do it. Yeah, see, we didn't have those.
Yeah, so I
We
feel
have
like
the world at our fingertips.
that's a lot why. And no, like literally, like also, I don't know. I just feel like ever since like, especially since like the beginning of high school, like I kind of know most things that there are to know. So I've been exposed for a while. It's okay. I got corrupted at a young age. I know every time I say that I read that and Steph's there, she's like,
Mama Steph comes out.
for real, I'm sorry. But I feel like I rated the book like 4 stars or something. But that was like the first one where I read it and I was like, okay. Like it wasn't overwhelming. I was just shocked. Like I was like, okay, I didn't know this was a thing.
Like this happens in books, yeah.
But
that's like me reading my first adult romance. I was like, oh, they go into detail.
Yeah. And I feel like my parents, like I know a lot of people are like, your parents should like monitor what you're reading. My parents don't care. They don't. They're like, we know our kid.
Right. Well, they see they know how mature you are, so I'm sure.
It's like this balance. So like I'm mature, and then also I'm like, can I have chicken nuggets? Yeah.
Yes, Jen from the Book Refuge will get you into dark romance.
Yes, I know. But her videos are so long. I can never like normally I have to go do something else, so then I can't ever watch them all the way through. But her content is so good and she has so many recommendation videos.
It's so much. It's great. Mama Stephanie is here.
Yeah, and
I'm Mama Stephanie, and then there's Jade.
Oh, Jade. I forgot about Jade for a sec.
Can't forget about Jade.
Not you bringing Jade, and then Stephanie's gonna be upset. But I feel like I've come to this point where I can't even read like YA romance anymore because I'm like, what is this?
It's refreshing. Like I read one every so often and I'm like, oh, I forgot how much I like these. What did I read? Always Never Yours. That was really cute because the heroine, she wasn't like super innocent. Like she made out with guys and she was kind of known as like the school slut or whatever, but she like owned it. And it was kind of interesting to read that in a YA.
Yeah. I think that's so high school is odd. It is odd, okay.
Well, I'm sure it's very different now than it was when I was in high school.
Yeah, it's different. As I said, this, and especially because, like, so I feel like for TikTok, I always come back to TikTok because I feel like there's different sides to TikTok. There's like the basic side. There's obviously like the bookish side, and then there's like the side. Okay, there's the side.
What's the side?
The side where people are too comfortable. Okay, they're too comfortable with these red lights and not wearing enough clothing, and it's like okay. And all of these people are like 18. And I'm like, what are you guys doing out here? Like, I did not know this was occurring. There's like this one guy that literally like people will ask him like questions about like sexual things, whatever, like literally like random, like, but like very like personal questions. And I thought he was like 22. He's 18. And I was like, what is this? Where did this boy? He's like, oh yeah, like I've done this and I've done that and this and that and this and that. And I'm like, boy, when did you have time for this? When did
the mom in me is like, colleges can see that.
Yeah, he's in college though, so I don't know if they care.
Yeah, probably not.
For real. And I feel like it's helped and hurt, like for me, because I'm not affected by much at this point anymore, like in general by like anything, especially this year. I don't know why, but something about 2020, I feel like very numb. I'm just here.
I think a lot of us feel that way too.
And so like I'm not even shocked by much. The only like I don't get sad like that anymore. I'm just here. And that's okay. Not everybody has to read
not
that.
For everybody. It is not for everybody. And it's okay if it is for you, but it's also okay if it's not.
Exactly. I've always had my mature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to kind of suspend like that part of you, otherwise it can get really annoying. You're just like, oh my gosh, really? This is what we care about. But when I think back to when I was in high school, yeah, I cared about those things.
I think also, I figured, yeah, I know why. think I like dark romances because I used to be on Wattpad 24/7. When I
Mm-hmm.
tell you, I would read books a day. I would fly through them. And so I was like, ooh, bad boy romance over here. This like mafia romance over here. This and that and like people getting kidnapped. And so it wasn't necessarily that explicit, but like I liked it. I was like, yes, give this to me. And they're all in high school still, but like these are other teenagers coming up with this stuff. And at the time I did not question it, but now I'm like, where did they get this idea to do this when I was okay. I used to literally look for bad boy romances all the time. That was my thing.
That's
like,
your trope. Charles was asking about the trope. You like
I don't specifically look for them anymore, but I definitely like that was my thing then. Like this one I remember, it was called like The Bad Boy Stole My Bra, and I love that one. He like
that was a Wattpad one.
So he like just moved into the town, and like there was like a group of bad boys already like in her school, like popular boys, and he like already knew everybody in the group, and he lived like right next to her, and their windows were like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so one night she was sleeping because obviously she was like a goody two shoes or whatever. She like did her homework and went to sleep, and he like was dared by the other boys because they were all hanging out in his room to go into her room and get a bra from her stuff. And so he snuck through the window, grabbed it. She was like, what? Turned on the lights. And he was like, and then he ran through the window. And then she went to the window and was like, what are you guys doing? That's all I remember. But I remember reading that book and I loved it a lot.
So do you like bully romances then?
I feel like I haven't read that many, but I probably would, to be honest.
Probably, if you like the bad boy romance.
Yeah. And then there was like this one, the 7 Deadly Simpson brothers. I think that's what it's called. And all the brothers are based off like a 7 deadly sin.
Oh, that's actually really creative.
And so like the romance is between the main character and one of them, but like I think something happened where she had to move in with them. You know that trope. So they had to move in with them, and so like she knew all the brothers, and they all were based off a different deadly sin. And it was actually really well done. Like it wasn't like obviously it was there, but it wasn't like they were actual characters and not just like what like a sin.
Right.
It wasn't
not something supernatural. It was an actual.
Yeah. It wasn't like they were like, okay, this is just an angry person. Like they were a full fleshed out person that just happened to be angry. That's okay too.
That's totally fine.
The Bad Boy Stole My Bra one. That one was my thing. Okay, I love it.
You could read Paper Princess by Erin Watt. That's one where like she moves in with them, and
I think I've heard of that one. Is that the one where the cover's pink?
Might be. It's like there's no person on it. It's like a not illustrated.
Oh
cover.
yes, I don't know what you're talking about. Let me see.
I'm not big into bully romances, but I know the ones like I have friends who love bully romances, so I know which ones that they love.
I know that you were recently talking about that book stuff. I actually wrote a Wattpad book when I was younger, but it wasn't like that. It was Divergent Fan Fiction. Yeah, and it actually had 4,000 reads.
And I don't know, is that a lot? I'm not familiar with Wattpad.
Yeah, it was kind of a lot. Let's see. I'm trying to see what I was reading because I still have the app.
What kind of fan fiction did you read?
Divergent.
Just Divergent?
And The Hunger Games and The Mortal Instruments. Ooh, look, this one, it was called The Last Virgin Standing. I remember this one. And that was like, there was only one virgin left in their school. I don't know how they knew. These boys knew. And so she had like 4 different boys trying to compete to like take her virginity and like get the last virgin because it was like a competition. So obviously that is very toxic. I don't know. I remember that one. There was this one, the cell phone swap, where they both, like they had similar phones and they both dropped them and they accidentally picked up the wrong one.
Oh, yeah. That's cute.
Yeah, I can't really actually remember the plot of these. Yeah, definitely Stole My Bra is right here, and it had Selena Gomez on the cover. Oh my gosh, the Bad Boys girl. Yes. Oh, this is the 7 Deadly Simpson Brothers. For real, I was into
And
this.
I feel like a bunch of those get published too, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Becoming Popular was good. And this
I
is
really think that you'll like bully romances. They all sound like bully romances.
They really kind of were. No lie. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I don't know if you know the Dolan twins, but they are like super
Vaguely, yeah.
popular on like YouTube and like what was it, Vine? And I used to be obsessed with them like years ago.
Are they still pretty famous?
Yeah, they're still famous. They just don't post as much content, and I don't watch. Like, I'm not keeping up with them 24/7 like I used to. So I used to read fan fiction about them. Like, how creepy is that?
I don't know, if you love something and you get obsessed with it. I get obsessed with things easily, so I don't blame anyone if they do weird obsessive things.
Oh my gosh. So like there was like these group called like what I forget what it's called, but it was like all these boys on Vine, and they used to like they did like this group MadCon, and so like they would go on these tours together, and then they stopped and they were supposed to like redo it, start up again with Jacob Sartorius and the Dolan twins. And so I was obsessed with Jacob Sartorius too, and now I really don't like him at all. But I used to read fan fiction about him too. Facing Red. Wait, where is it? Yeah, this one. I love this one too. What is this? Held Hostage. What was I reading? I only got a little bit into that one.
Those are all books that you've read on it? It's an app? I don't know anything about Wattpad, clearly.
Or it's like ones that I saved into my library. It's kind of like, it's almost like if you had Kindle Unlimited and you just like downloaded them, but like obviously you don't have to pay for them and you can get as many as you want.
So the people who write them, they don't get paid for it, do they?
Mm-mm. Unless they get published. I only read the first few books.
Oh yeah, I read the first 2 books, and by the end of the second book, I was like, "What is happening right now?" But again, I don't like. That's the Paper Princess series.
Why? Was it too much?
It's just there was a lot happening. But see, I don't really like bully romances.
Yeah.
That's not my thing.
Yes, that's the one I was just talking about. The Bad Boys Girl with the Green Sky, and then the second one's called I did read The Bad Boy and the Tomboy too. Oh yeah, you're gonna sub? Oh, thank you. I just hit 900 subscribers yesterday, but now I'm already like
close to 1,000.
I know. I'm like at like 930 now or something.
Only 70 more. You got this. What are you gonna do when you hit 1,000? You gonna celebrate?
Just a Q&A probably, because for 500 I did a Q&A live show, so I'll probably do a video this time. And then maybe I'll do a giveaway or something. And then for my birthday, I want to do a live show because I'm not having an actual birthday party. So I'm going to invite, like, on StreamYard, you can only have, like, 5 other people? So I'm going to invite 5 people, and we're going to just have a little StreamYard party.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. My mom's like, what do you want to do for your 18th birthday? I'm like, I want to eat food in bed. I want to eat food in bed. Thank you.
Go buy a lottery ticket.
Ooh, that'd be kind of fun. But I feel like I used to have elaborate birthday parties, like when I was younger, elaborate. And now I'm like, I don't really care. Oh my gosh, I once had this roller derby one, and we all had to dress up like it was like the 80s, and my mom rented out this
great idea.
Like roller rink, and we all were like around, and we had cake. Once I had my face on the cake.
Just your face on the cake?
And everyone ate it with my face, and half of it was brats. When I think the birthday with the roller derby, I had a Monster High cake. I don't know if you know what that is.
I know what Monster High is.
And my skirt it was a Monster High skirt. And I had a Monster High cake. I had elaborate birthdays. And I think once I had a bowling one. Oh yeah, this was like my 5th birthday, 4th or 5th, because I was in pre-K. And this was the one with my face on the cake with brats. And this one was traumatizing for me because we were walking in, right? And there was like a space. It was like an L-shaped space in front. It was like not on the inside, but you weren't inside the building yet. You know, it's just like glass, like a little, you'll go inside, but you're not like in the building. You have to go through another set of doors. And I was walking backwards, I think, and there was a pole in the middle of the walkway, and I turned around right as and I smashed my face on this pole.
Oh no.
Yeah, because it's like a handrail to divide like people going in and people going out, and I didn't know. So I smashed my face. Yeah.
That is traumatizing on your birthday too.
Yeah, but I was kind of happy because my crush was there, so I was like,
Oh
he didn't see
no.
that. He didn't see that. That was before the party. I was so happy because he showed up to my party.
Aw.
I remember all of my crushes, all of them. I've had like, well, I remember all of them until like middle school, high school, because then they're not as distinct. I feel like especially when I was in elementary school, like I would like this boy for like 3 years, and I was like, yes, my crush. And then once I got to middle school and high school, I was like, yeah, this person's kind of cute, whatever.
Were they like friends with you or just some random guy that you had?
Yeah, they were friends with me. Oh yeah, there's like this. Oh yeah, I liked him for like 3 years. And our parents were friends, so I would go over his house all the time for like holidays and things. Once I stepped on a slug in his backyard because we would run around without shoes, and then I went into the bathroom and I washed my foot out in their sink, and I didn't tell anybody.
You didn't tell anybody. I would have had an immediate visceral reaction to that.
No, like it was like on the deck, and I stepped on it and I washed my foot out. It was slimy and disgusting. I have so many random stories.
After your whole years.
Okay, I'm an emotional hoe, like if that makes sense. Like I like attention, and I know people, if I'm not in a relationship, they're not going to give me attention 24/7. So then I have my hoes, so I have constant attention, you know? So like if one of them's not paying me attention, I'll be like, "Hey," to this other
Yeah.
and then then I have constant attention from having multiple hoes. But I'm like in my bed. Like I'm not out here. No.
Your hoe years. Steph, how many years were your hoe years?
Oh, I feel like Stephanie has definitely had a good chunk of hoe years.
I want to hear about Steph's hoe years.
Me
like
too.
Steph needs to have a memoir.
Yes, Steph needs a memoir. 10 out of 10. I would read that. Really.
Wattpad.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. I forgot. Nicole sent me her book, one of the books that she's writing, and I haven't started it yet. So I need to. That reminded me.
Nicole wrote a book. What kind of book is it?
Fantasy romance.
Why are you saying it like that?
Because I'm like, I don't know what other genre she would write. She's written a couple, but this one, I think it's about an assassin. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Is it complete or is it just the 18 to 24? All right, Deja, you got one more year and then you start your whole years.
Girl, they've been started. I think her book, it's done and it's been through a couple rounds of edits, but it's not like I'm going in to see if there's anything else too.
So like a beta reader.
Mm-hmm.
See, here's the problem is I met my husband when I was 18. So my whole years kind of got cut short.
Oh my gosh, the thing you posted about your husband the other day was so cute. I was like, oh my god, gold. That was so cute. And you were just reading. And
I know. Like, he like legit slept on me for a good 40 minutes. I had to pee so bad.
But I feel like that'd be cute at first, but then if that started happening all the time, I'd be like, bro, get off me.
Yes. It does not happen often because I'm not super touchy-feely. So, but every so often I'm okay with it. And it was nice then because the girls were like doing their own thing and then I was reading, so it was nice.
How are your daughters doing with school?
They're doing pretty good. I think I'm more stressed out than they are. Thank goodness. I'd much rather me be stressed out than them.
Yeah.
But they're doing good. I mean, I worry about how much they're missing, like as far as like interaction with other kids, because they have Zoom calls with other kids and stuff and they interact with them there. But just the experience of being on campus because they're doing strictly e-learning, I worry a little bit about that, but they go to a private school because that's where I work. So I work at the school that they go to. Otherwise, I would not be able to afford it. But the private school, they have their stuff together. Like their teachers are amazing and they have it very well organized. So I'm not worried about the educational aspect. It's more the social aspect.
Yeah. This is kind of complicated, but I'm kind of like a nanny, but also during the school day. So like I only go during the school day while I'm doing my schoolwork and help a 5-year-old girl do hers too. I feel like I kind of see what it's like for her, and I feel like she's doing okay, but I think that it's because she's in kindergarten. So I feel like it's kind of harder for her, but her dad has really been helping her. Like she would count to 20, but like she would sometimes skip
A few
like
numbers.
or like put them in the wrong order, but now she can fully count to 20 like straight through. And I was like,
That's
oh my
good.
gosh, I'm so proud.
Yeah, when their school first went out at the end of March, like it was all crazy, but now it's very, very structured, and they have a lot of. She has one-on-one time. Both of the kids have one-on-one time with their teachers in very small groups in their Zooms. So my kids are kindergarten and third grade.
I liked third grade.
Third grade? I can't even remember. Third grade is one of the grades that I don't really remember. I feel like I remember kindergarten, and I remember like fifth grade. I don't remember third grade.
No, I'm trying to remember all of them. First grade, my teacher's name was Miss Sabina. Or no, kindergarten, Miss Sabina. First grade, Miss Aros. Second grade, Miss Descola. Third grade, I can't remember. I remember her face so much, but her name was complicated. So that's why I think I don't remember it. Fourth grade, don't remember because my teacher was not good. Plus, that was the first year because I went to a private school that year. I had 3 teachers. So like one taught me like English and history, one taught me science, and one taught me math.
Oh, interesting.
And then 5th grade was Miss Cox because I moved down here that year. Then it gets muddled because I started having 4 teachers, 4 to 8 teachers, because we had 4 core classes in middle school and then 2 electives per semester. So it would be like 4 all year the same, and then our electives could change out for each semester. But yeah, I feel like the one that I don't remember that much is 4th. Like I don't remember my teachers that much in 4th grade, but I remember that year because I was at a different school, and that was the year that I got corrupted. Okay, because I went to a Catholic school. Like this was a Catholic school, and these kids were bad. Like,
oh no,
like they're like as bad as high schoolers when I was in 4th grade.
wow.
And I was like, what is wrong with you guys? And I had a phone that year too, so because my school was farther away. They were terrible.
Yeah, Steph is in the middle of doing e-learning too, I think, with her son.
Yes, she's like, it's rough.
It's so hard because I work from home too. So I'm like in the middle of trying to do all my stuff in my Zoom meetings, but they have like their schedules are crazy because they have Zoom meetings like every hour. It's nuts.
Yeah. That's
my
how
third grader can do it all herself, which is awesome. She's very independent, but my kindergartner, I have to kind of keep her on track.
Yeah, that's how the girl I nanny, I guess, she has a really crazy schedule, like Zoom calls all the time, and her mom works from home and her dad is not there, so that's why I helped them. Plus her mom had surgery on her foot, so it's hard for her to move around like really quickly.
Yeah, that's nice to have someone helping.
Yeah, I feel like that's how a lot of places do it.
Yeah.
And then I can't imagine being like 6th grade doing e-learning. I feel like I would have done better in elementary school than middle school. Oh my gosh, wait. So I was like, ooh, let me get a Gushers real quick because as I said, I'm a literal, like I'm mature, but I'm also a child. Okay. So I opened one of these the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's all red. Like, what are the chances of that happening? And then I was like, okay, like let me eat it and then open another one because I want some other colors.
Are they all red?
Wait.
I forgot that they all stick together too.
All red again. All 3 of these packages at least were all red.
Did you? But I mean, maybe they are supposed to be all red. Look at the box. Does the box say like all cherries?
The other 2 packets didn't have all red.
Oh,
that's see if it's all red too. I was like, wow, I feel so jibbed. Like I like the blue ones and the orange ones. I can't open them.
I vaguely remember Gushers. I didn't even think they were still around. And like Fruit by the Foot and things like that.
This one's a good one. It has blue.
Oh, see? And green. It has 1 green.
Yeah. And there's orange ones too. I was like, the audacity to give me half the box is just red, plus the other ones have red in it. Like, what? They're so good. Yeah. I feel like I didn't eat these that much as a kid. but I love them now. They're so good.
I feel like I ate them more in high school than I did in like elementary or anything like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So that's me right now. I really do. I've been eating Lunchables and Gushers and
I used to love Lunchables.
the bagels.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Yeah, pizza bagels are really good.
What are they called? Bagel Bites. That's what they're called, right?
Oh yes, Bagel Bites.
Oh, and I liked the ones that are like the pizza stuff inside the little square thing. What are those called?
Tostitos.
Yes. Yes.
I don't like those as much, but
those when you cook them and you bite into them, they burn the crap out of your mouth.
Yeah, I know. Wait, you know the ice pops that are like come in the clear packaging? Mm-hmm. Those, I love those.
That was my childhood, and the pink ones always made me cough. My sister, every time I would eat a pink one, I would cough every time. Yes, pizza rolls.
Tostino's pizza rolls, yeah. Hot
Pockets. I liked the random Hot Pockets, like what was it, like the broccoli cheddar Hot Pockets? Actually,
broccoli cheddar is good. No, for real. I really wish they still had Dunkaroos.
Oh my god, we don't have Dunkaroos anymore? That's not a thing?
No, but I feel like I only had them like once or twice when I was a kid, and I'm like, they look so good. Like
but that. Now they have like the Nutella with the like cookie sticks or something. I'm
allergic to Nutella.
Are you allergic to nuts?
Mm-hmm.
Hazelnuts? Oh.
I'm allergic to all nuts.
That sucks. Like deathly allergic or just like itchy throat allergic?
It depends. But I just kind of stay away from all of them. Like pistachios will kill me real quick.
Oh, really?
Instantaneously, basically.
Oh, no, I love
the most you can be allergic to something is how allergic I am to pistachios.
Oh, no.
Like, I think they did it on a scale of like 6, so that's like a 6 out of 6. Peanuts are like a 3 or 4 out of 6, and like I think hazelnuts like a 3, and then what are the other ones? Not hazelnuts, but they're like hazelnuts. I don't know my nuts like that because I don't eat them.
Because you don't eat them.
I'm looking it up.
Barbecue Hot Pockets. I don't think I've ever had a barbecue.
I never had one of
those. What else? What are some of
maybe cashews? I don't think I'm that allergic to cashews. Walnuts. Walnuts, it's like a 1 out of 6, but I still don't eat them. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I've never had foods. Oh, what are those things? The toaster strudels. I loved toaster strudels back in the day.
Oh, and what are they called? The things that go in the toaster oven. No, not the toaster oven. The toaster. Pop-Tarts. Oh my god. The cinnamon one.
Cinnamon one. See, I like the OG, just like blueberry or strawberry. But I'll eat a cinnamon one. I mean, I can't now, but I used to eat cinnamon ones.
No, the sad thing is I feel like I still eat those. Like Doritos, though. Oh, I love Doritos.
Which kind? Like the regular kind or the Cool Ranch? Or like
I've gone through phases where I just used to eat whatever, and then I became extremely, when I say extremely, I mean extremely obsessed with the spicy nacho ones. And that with cream cheese, I swear, if people haven't tried that, it sounds weird.
Please no, that sounds amazing.
It's so good. And then now I still really like those, but now I'm really into the Cool Ranch again right now. I don't know why, but
what is it? The one in the purple bag, the sweet chili, whatever.
Yeah.
Spice. I liked those too. They were never my favorite, but they were good. Like, if they were buy one get one free, I'd get like Cool Ranch in those.
Yeah, I like the spicy nacho and the Cool Ranch. Those are my favorites. And when there's if there's just nacho cheese, I'm like, why?
But every so often, I used to get a craving for just the straight nacho cheese ones.
But it's not even that. It's like if I go to like a not even a party. I don't know where they have this, like an event or something, and they have like Doritos, and they just have the nacho cheese ones. I'm like, why would you play people like that? Like, why would you just get nacho cheese? Like, who's like, yeah, nacho cheese is my favorite. The plain nacho cheese.
I feel like there are some people who go hard for just the plain nacho cheese, though. Like,
yeah, and they're just incorrect.
Yeah, I still get down with toaster pastries. Yet a donut flavored one. I swear they come up with like the best stuff now that I can't eat any of it.
That sucks.
Very sad.
Okay, I know you talk about the I don't know if it's like a disease is what you call it, but I tried to look it up the other day and I'm still confused because I was like, she always talks about this.
Multiple sclerosis?
Yes.
So basically, it's an autoimmune disease,
Mm-hmm.
and my immune system is attacking my nervous system. So that's like your brain, that's your nerves, and it's like, so it can affect your eyesight. So when I got diagnosed, it's because I had optic neuritis and it was affecting my eyesight. It can affect your ability to walk, your ability to speak, your ability to breathe, your ability, like it affects so many different things, but it affects people in different ways. And some are more serious than others. Some of them are progressive, which means that it'll gradually get worse and worse and worse. And other people are like remissive, so it'll come and go like symptoms, but there's no way to tell what kind you have. So if I were to get a flare up, or like, like right now, the only thing that I have is my hand is a little numb and tingly, and it's been that way for years. And so that means it's probably going to stay. But my optic neuritis kind of came and went. But that's the scary thing about it, because you don't know when a flare up is going to happen, how long it's going to last, if it's going to be permanent, that type of thing. It also affects like your brain functionality. So like brain fog, meaning like you'll just forget things and stuff like that. So there's a lot unknown about it. There's no cure for it, and there's no way to tell what kind you have. And really the only way to treat it is to shut your immune system down as much as possible. So you get infusions to like lower your immune system, which obviously means that you can't fight off other diseases. So that's why I chose to treat it more with health and nutrition, like things that I eat, as opposed to taking those medications, because the side effects are scary. And they can, like, especially during a pandemic, obviously, you don't have an immune system, you can't fight off the disease. But yeah, it's scary to think about, but it also gives me a lot of perspective and just kind of living in the moment and stuff like that. So yeah, it's intense. And there's not, like, when I was diagnosed with it and when I started doing research about it, I didn't know anything about it either. Like it's because it's so rare and there's not a lot known about it.
Are you born with it, or does it like develop over time?
So they don't know. They don't know. They don't think it's genetic. They think that it could be like a virus. What is it called? Epstein-Barr virus. Like maybe at some point I had it, and then something triggered the MS to just like happen. And it could be environment. It could be, I don't know. They really don't know anything about it, how you get it. It's not contagious, but I think it's just maybe something that's in genetics and something gets triggered.
I kind of understand, because my dad, he's an epileptic. So that's like a disability, obviously. And he takes loads of medications, loads.
And it's like you take the medication to help one thing, but then it makes other things happen, and you need medication for that. And then that's kind of how it is with MS too. And I'm just like, want to avoid that as much as possible. I'm not against medication. If I need it, I'll take it. But if I can treat it with what I eat and prevent, like, and just manage it, then that's what I'm going to do, obviously. And it's hard. It's not easy. And I totally, like, that's why I don't talk about it too much, because I never want to push it on people or make people feel bad if they have MS or some other autoimmune disease and they don't want to do the diet, because it's hard. It's near impossible to do it because there's no cheat days on it. Because if I have a cheat day, it would just mess up my gut health and everything. And then I could have a flare up, and the flare ups for MS, like I said, are scary. Like, could go blind. It could affect my speech, my walking and stuff. So I just have to kind of weigh those, but I also never want to be preachy about it.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
Yeah, it's insane.
I don't think I've talked about this before, but like my dad, he didn't have epilepsy, like he wasn't born with it, and he had it from like a traumatic childhood, like trauma. Like his dad was abusive, so it was done from like head damage from that. Yeah, I think it's from like I think, because they're not exactly sure, because my dad was obviously young. They think it's from like a toilet lid.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So but he had seizures like where he would space out, because there's different types. So he would just space out, and he didn't know anything. He just saw he was spacing out. And then when I was 5 years old, I was like in the bathtub and I couldn't step out because it was high. So one of my parents would always have to come take me out, and he was like, oh, I feel dizzy, and he went to sit down on the toilet, and that was like his first seizure where he like fell.
And so you were right there.
when I was 5. So it was really traumatizing. That's why I had like separation anxiety for a long time. And still, like, if my parents like if I don't know where they are, and like my mom, I know she gets home before 3 o'clock every day. Like she gets home between 2:50 and 3 every day, and if she doesn't show up, I'm like, where are you? Like, what's going on? Like, why are you not home? Yeah.
It's amazing how one instance like that can just affect you and change the course of your life and how you react to things forever.
I was super confused. I like thought he was playing a joke on me for real. I was like, what is going on? I was so confused. And then like my dad, he was in and out the hospital for a while. He had like all of these like the little things on his head. What is all that? And then also because my dad, he did construction, so he did a lot of work off the books. So when that happened, it just disappeared, and he made like 2/3 of our income, so it fell real quick. But I really did not notice at all. So my parents definitely did a good job. Because I didn't notice. But yeah, he's like disabled, so he doesn't have a job, but he like does work on people's houses. So like he's kind of like freelance, but like it's not technically like a company or anything. He just does work for people. And
so he can still do that.
Yes, because as I said, he's on a lot of medication, so he doesn't have seizures like that anymore. And he's crusty in other ways now. Like literally, he just had surgery on both his hands like a week ago because of carpal tunnel. And then like last year this time, like in November, he had surgery on his knee. A couple years ago, he had surgery on his shoulder. This man busted for real, busted and crusted. That's why I always say they don't get offended anymore. My parents. Yeah. Also, I really just ate 3 packages of these.
Did you? I feel like there are not a lot that come in those, though.
No. Oh, and it's only
not get a lot.
80 calories for 1 pouch.
See, there you go.
But then it's like you're like, oh, only 80 calories, and then you look at the figure and you're like, let me just 80
Don't read the ingredients.
No.
It's 80 calories of chemicals and things. It's fine.
What in the world? Yeah, there's 18 grams of carbs in this, 10 grams of sugar. I just consumed 30 grams of sugar.
I'm actually surprised there's only 10 grams of sugar in
there. But still, I'm like...
I mean, it's a lot, but I would have thought there would be...
I thought there was going to be like 25 or something, and then I would have been sad. Like, I take 75 grams of sugar, like it was nothing. Okay. I think we've been on this live for a long time, and most of it was not talking about this book.
I think we talked about the book for maybe 10 minutes.
Okay, but it was a fun live show.
It was fun. Thank you for inviting me. I'm glad that we were able to do it.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much for being here for the first live show for New to Swoon, and thank you to everybody who watched. And if you did read the book or didn't read the book, and if you do, I hope you enjoy it because it is really good. I didn't want to get into spoilers too much because a lot of people said they didn't read it. But sorry if you guys hear my dog barking because he's like wild in right now. But everything for Brie is linked down below, and her channel is amazing in general. Like her videos are so good and relaxing. Like if you just want somebody to calm you down, I swear, like you really chill me out. And then obviously, like I said, the stickers are iconic, and her shop is linked down there too. And she's having a readathon that starts tomorrow for Kindle Clear Out, and she has a video on that. And yeah. I like to plug, okay?
I appreciate it.
Of course. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you guys next month for the we're doing paranormal next month, and we already did the poll. So it is supposed to be Slave to Sensation by Nalini Singh, which is a shifter romance, and the guest is going to be Nicole from Who Picked
I was going to say, I bet it's Nicole.
It is Nicole. Who is surprised? So the live show we haven't decided yet, but it will probably be like around this time next month. So if you guys want to join in, that is the next book, and I hope to see you guys there. Bye, everybody.
Bye.